Folks, it is Friday afternoon. I've got a lunch break on me. We've got some work to do with the new Artificer Cartographer playtest content for Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition 2024 for the Artificer. Give me a moment. I'm going to go through the social media posting process. Normally there'd be like a downtime timer, like we'll start in 5 minutes, but that's just, I'm just not rolling that way. So let's see if this is actually live. Let's see. All right, we are live. Let me go ahead and drop my volume down there so it's not intrusive, and get this out of the way. And let's see. It'll take me a moment to do my social media posts here real quick, so I will entertain you here in a moment with my backstory and all the accoutrements that go with it. But I just need a hot second here to get my links going. There we go. Okay, great. So, hey, for those that are new to the channel, welcome to the mix. If you're already familiar with the channel, you can skip ahead a minute past all the intro stuff, and we'll get into some game design today. My name is Phil Kearney. I create role-playing games, I illustrate them, and I publish them online, and I'm focusing my attention currently on Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition. I've been a DM since 1987. I've been a freelance illustrator since 1999, and I've been creating content on the DMsGuild for Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition since 2018. We're currently going through the process of creating the Martial Powers book. Martial Powers is the martial expansion of the Color Mana spell point variant rules system that I created that replaces the 8 schools of magic and spell slot system of Dungeons & Dragons with a 5-color mana spell point mana system for Magic the Gathering. Since Wizards of the Coast owns both MTG and D&D, they've released a number of settings so far: Ravnica, Theros, Strixhaven, or TS, that are now settings in D&D, but they imported the idea of those worlds, but left them in the flavor of Dungeons & Dragons with the 8 schools of magic and the Vancian spell slot system, devoiding all color from the system, as pardon the pun. So the spell point variant rule system that I created, here, the color mana spell point rules. These are actually linked out. Hold on, let me fix my screen. There you go. Yeah, these are linked down below. Here on my channel, you can actually hit here down on the more button. The color mana spell point variant rules, and here's a bunch of like Point Warlocks and Spelljammer and all these other books that I've created. They're all full previews. Check them out. But the martial powers system adds that color mana system to martial classes: barbarians, fighters, monks, rogues, so that all 13 classes across the spectrum can use the same color mana system to express your characters, both their philosophies and approaches to life through the color mana philosophy system, as well as mechanically as characters. So here's a bunch of books that we've made. I recommend that you start with the revised color mana system. It is a pay what you want document, and it outlines how you create, like how you categorize spells and magic by one color or another. The Point Warlocks dives into that for the Warlocks specifically. Elemental Key is for monks. Knights and Tricksters is for Eldritch Knights and Arcane Tricksters. The core mechanics goes into a deep dive of all the spellcaster options, but it needs to be updated. So we will be updating this later on this year once my plate opens up. But for the meantime, today, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon for notifications. Thanks, new subscribers. Like, subscribe, bell icon for notifications of when we're live in the future. And the playtest document that we're going to be using is right here, called Martial Powers Playtest Doc. It's a Google read-only doc, Google Doc read-only. You'll eventually have access to this on the DMsGuild along with everything else that I produce. So, but you can read the entire thing right now. At the back end, it has all of the Rubble Belt hex crawl system, as well as the DM notes on the mega dungeon that we're running right now. Well, hey, what's up? How do you say your name? John Moonston. See, yeah. Sorry, I can't pronounce words good. But, okay, so here's the Martial Powers document here. And if we peel open I'm going to drop this into a separate window here so we can play around. But you can read along. Here's the document here. It's read only. You can look, don't touch. But the entire system is here. All 13 classes updated for 2024 using the color mana system are in this book. And in this document, which will eventually be translated over to the again, here's all the books, like just to show you what I'm talking about here. If we look at the stack of books, here is the core mechanics that like talks about like concentration and spell casting, multi-classing across different levels, how to organize colors. But you can pop open the full preview, and it's a 75-page document. I don't know what happened there. Full preview there, buddy. There you go. This just went gold medal recently, so thanks everybody for picking it up and supporting the ideas. This is the first book that I published back in 2018. It's converting again the D&D Magic system into the color mana spell point variant rule system, the color magic paradigm. When we originally built this book, each spell was only assigned to one color, but I've been using it for 7 years. So we've had updates, but it talks about how color affects the narrative of your campaign, how mana works inside your character's mana pool as a spell point system. Of course, I do all my own art. And then the very basic minimums of converting your characters to use the color mana system instead of spell slots in the 8 schools. Some of them don't require much information at all. Like the Eldritch Knight here, it basically just tells you how you spend your mana points and when you gain new stuff, and that's all you need, and then we're on to the monk. But like, this is a very trite concept, the bare minimum that you need to be able to convert an Eldritch Knight into the color mana system. But then we do deep dives. So if we go back to the original bundle here, boy, their website's moving slow today. Hope that means they're getting lots of sales. Here's the Knights and Tricksters book that we built. So I actually sampled for those that are that have been checking out my my art on like on Blue Sky, Twitter, and on Discord. Open image. This was the this character here, this Azorius Senate Artificer reading a map is our highlighted character for today, because we're going to be working on the Artificer Cartographer, which is brand new. So we need to convert the Cartographer to the color mana system, which is what our task is today. But just to summarize, you can see here that this is like a 20-page book. It's a deep dive specifically into Eldritch Knights and Arcane Tricksters, and what you can do to gamify the mana system inside for these third casters, these off casters. So that, and like we have new class features that you can implement that lean into the mana system more. A lot of color identities, how to utilize different sources of magic other than color. The variant class features here. Of course, I do all my own art. How to convert your characters into a Ravnica campaign and the benefits that you get for the color mana system for doing so. And then there's basically a stack of NPCs that are Knights and Tricksters that you can implement into your game. Basically templates to create different types of villain groups or allies and adversaries to mess around with your team. And this was fun to build. But this is the old system where each spell was dedicated to or devoted to only one color of magic. And since then, since I've been using it with my home table for 7 years, we've come to revelations that we can be more expansive with this. So I made the revised color spell list that basically outlines what each color is, how the tenets of what each aspect, like white has like a lot of divinity, healing, light, protection, restraint type magic involved with it, while say black is like control, entropy, fear, soul, and darkness magic. And then you have the damage types in D&D, acid, cold, fire, force, etc. And then the color types, white, blue, black, red, green. And using the cards from Magic the Gathering, we codified each of the damage types to align with a different, or to be naturally devoted to a type of color. So like lightning and fire and magic cards is like 1,000 cards, like 3 of them aren't automatically red. So that's a vast majority of just red is the magic of fire and lightning, while necrotic stuff is pretty much exclusively black. Meanwhile, like acid and poison are both black and green, and like there's so many D&D cards, Magic the Gathering cards that back up that narrative that this really fits in nicely. Of course, bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage is colorless. So taking the matrix of like how do you describe each of these magics mechanically and the type of damage that they produce, we come up with the revised color mana spell list. Acid Splash it's a cantrip, so it doesn't actually cost any mana, but if you're describing it, it would naturally be described as either black or green magic. So I cast a cantrip at you. The little splatters of black splotch hit your skin, and it begins bubbling green ichor bleeding off of your body as you take 7 points of acid damage or whatever. And then like obvious stuff like third level counter spell, for example, iconic counter spell, blue. It's a blue spell, obviously. So there you go. I was actually questioning that in the original version of the game, but my color philosophy's improved a lot. So I'm pretty happy with these. But you also get a spreadsheet that you can modify. Like when you download this, you get an editable spreadsheet, so you can reassign colors as you please, or add your own spells to the list and assign colors to them as well. So that's the system. I mean, that's the bare bones of it. So the martial power system expands on that by creating an alternate magic system for martial characters, kind of like the Book of Nine Swords from 3rd edition, or like martial powers from 4th edition. It's pretty literal. So it's just utilizing 5e mechanics on a half-casting scale with the mana system that we've developed for reactions, bonus actions, movement-based stuff. You do a thing, you spend mana while you're doing that thing, and you have this boosted result. So fun stuff, a bunch of cantrips type things. But once we get through all the actual mechanics of how the system work and the options that are available inside of it, then we get into actual characters, the different classes. We've converted the barbarian and all the subclasses, fighter. We're going to scroll past the monk, the rogue, the ranger, the paladin, the warlock, which has honorable mentions in the supplement, and we're trying to get down to the artificer, which is after the paladin. Let's keep going. We playtest a mega dungeon every Saturday morning on my Discord server, which is linked down below. We're always looking for new recruits. We're currently 4th level, on our way to 5th level. We're just using this martial power system to build characters to run around inside of a dungeon and beat up monsters, find treasure and secret passages and stuff, and figure out what the fuck is going on. So it's just a mega dungeon. It's super fun, but it's a great environment to play test. So we've play tested this at the high end, 16 to 20th level. It felt great. Then we had to take the effort of breaking it down so that it feels great at 1st and 2nd level, 5th level and 12th level, just like it felt great at 18th, 19th, and 20th level. So deconstructing it so we can build it from very small, humble beginnings and have it naturally curve up into a 20th level character. I run through a campaign from level 1 to 20 in about 250, 275 hours. So I've had a lot of opportunity to be able to feel how that curve actually works in game a number of times in 5th edition. I think we're on our 4th campaign right now. So I've had maybe a good 200, no, Jesus, like 10, 30, just about, Jesus, 3.5 hour sessions, 10, maybe 200 hours spending in the 4th tier of play in 5th edition specifically, and then a backlog of 30 years of playing all the other editions beforehand. So I have a good opportunity to feel the curve from level 1 to 20 with these type of characters. And the most of the project has been deconstructing it and making it curve down from the power down to 1st level. And so we've curved it down and found the balance point at all the different tiers of play. And now we're running a mega dungeon to ramp back up through it to feel how it feels. And right now at 4th level, we did a 3rd and 4th level mega dungeon. We've done other play testing from 5th to 7th level previously. And it's felt really good. We're really keen in on just specific effects for different class features and specific powers that can be prepared. But the system itself is really solid. And now it's just tweaking all the little nibs and bobs to make sure that nothing breaks, like we don't find any infinite combos or anything broken like that inside of there. The language that needs to be tweaked about like targeting or distancing or like how much of an impact does it have on somebody's action economy, stuff like that. So we've broken all that down. It's all working well. So now we have the new subclass for the Artificer, and that should be here. So we've already gone through and updated the Artificer on my Friday session last week, which will, when you check the playlist that this is on my channel, it'll be the last episode that we ran. That's my 20-minute timer. Good, we're doing good on time. So we've already broken it down. We're using a short rest mechanic as opposed to a long rest mechanic for the mana. So you gain basically like key. You gain 1 point per level, 20 at 20th level. Each spell that you cast costs 1 mana per level of spell. So a first level spell is 1 point. A 5th level spell is 5 points, and the channeling, spellcasting, Tinker's Magic. Yeah, okay, so just like the Warlock, there's an issue about not having enough mana at low levels, even though it's on a short rest. The way that you solve that, if it was long rest, then you'd have enough mana over the course of a long rest to be able to cast the spells like you know, your 2 spells at first level, you'd have or 3 spells at first level. Anyway, 2 spells at first level, you have no problem with curving out and matching the amount of spells that you would cast per day. But with a short rest, what you really need to have is, and the Warlock in 2024 has this as well. But we call it harnessing magic. As a 1-minute ritual, you can harness magic from the environment, restoring an amount of mana equal to half your Artificer level rounded up, minimum of 1. You can do so once, regaining this feature when you finish a long rest. So that's pretty much exactly how the Warlock works. And then at 20th level Soul of Artifice, when you do this, you get all your mana back, not half. So that's the solution that Wizards has come up with for allowing short rest casters to keep up with the full level casters at first level, when the extra resources are actually really, really useful. It starts to disparage at higher levels as the full casters continue to ramp up in their spell inventory, while the half casters and like the Warlock slow down in their progression comparatively because of their limited mana pool. But this helps bridge that gap in the first tier where it needs to be bridged, so that everything feels pretty balanced between characters, because you don't really see their identities really take on until 3rd, 4th, 5th level when you're entering 2nd tier. So it's just those first levels that need to balance out, which this feature, the Eldritch, Eldritch Recovery for the Warlock, and then again here is Harness Magic. So those work out well. And then we did all the other updates to the class using the 2024, the second verse of the playtesting here. So we've got that all built out. So now what we want to do is we'll reference these things as we need to, as we progress through the conversion project. But let's get down here. Artificer subclasses. So I'm going to grab just the general scaffolding here. 9, 9, 15. I'm just going to grab, copy this like entire block. And then we're going to drop down to the Cartographer section, which is last. Cartographer. You gain proficiency in, I suspect, cartography tools. What is it? Calligraphy? Calligraphy set? Let's see. Cartographers. There we go. Tool proficiencies. You gain proficiency in calligrapher supplies. That's right. You gain proficiency in calligraphers supplies. In addition, when you scribe a spell scroll. Thank you. In addition, when you scribe a spell scroll, reduce the time required by 1 degree. So this is the time it takes to week, month. This has actually been updated. It goes week, month, season. There you go. Let's see. Spells get produced more quickly than other magic items. So hold on real quick. Let's go visit the D&D Beyond. And let's go to scrolls. Free rules, scrolls. Using a scroll. Let's see, where is it? Crafting. It would be. Let's go to the player's handbook. And let's go to equipment. We should be down here. Adventuring gear. Magic items. Crafting equipment. Scribing scrolls. There we go. Time and cost. Scribing a scroll takes an amount of time and money based on the level of the spell as shown on the spell scroll across table. One day, 3 day, 10 day, 120 day. That's a season. I got that right. That's a season. That's a month. That's a month. That's a month. Okay, so how do we break? How do we break this down normally? Okay, so we're gonna go with rarity, which is going to reflect level. 0 to 1, 2 to 3, 4 to 5, 6 to 7, 8 to 9. Not counting wish typically, but whatever. So it takes a season. We can break it down to a month. This might be accurate. So let's see what the book says. So book says that 0 first should take 1 day. So let's push over here and go to a day, which would mean 8 hours is the shorter version. 2 and 3, 2, 3, and 4. 2, 3, and 4. 2 and 3. It's 3 or 5 days. We could still go with a week, and that would break down to a day. And then 4 and 5 is a, let's see, 4, 5. That would be 25 days is 4 weeks. That's more than 1 week. 5, 4, and 5. Let's get the, yeah, let's keep it here. I like that. I think that's just better. And then we can still go into a month here, which could then downshift to a week because level 6 and 7 is 40 and 50 days. And then 8 and 9 is either 2 months. No, it's it's either 2 months or 4 months. Let's split the difference and make it 3 months. Season. So that's still, this is still valid even for scrolls. It's a little bit more generous. It's a little less generous than at the second tier. It's a little more generous the rest of the way. So that's actually going to work. So let's delete this. This becomes a common point that we use. This is, if you haven't explored my stream about the Bastion campaign and crafting magic items, that is an ongoing project that we will be publishing on the DMsGuild as well. And I stream that Mondays and Thursday nights. You can check out the playlist called In Command. I need to change it to Bastion campaigns because it's clearly a Bastion campaign stream now. But originally it was the In Command system was the solution that I had come up with that Bastion's addresses. So I get to convert my command system into the Bastion system. And it's been a freaking blast. It works so well. It works so well that I built a new role-playing game around it. So that's our variant time and our tool proficiency. That's resolved. This was freaking great. I'm going to actually grab this And reference is here. And get rid of that. That worked great. And a character who has proficiency in herbalism kit can craft. Oh yeah, that's right. And then actual potions have a different rule. All right, so what's the rest of the bits that we get? Tool proficiency, got it. Cartographer spells, thank you. Let's zoom in a bit so it's easier for me to read. Wait, does everyone... Is it gonna... I feel like these guys are supposed to have bonus spell lists, but alas, I don't have any listed right now, so I'm gonna have to check in on that. Looks like I have some work to do. Is that what it's called? Tool proficiencies? And cartographer spells. Interesting that they're not alphabetizing them. Cartographer spells. Let's go fetch a spell list from someone else. Where are your spells? Oh, because I was doing minimal at the time. That's right. Let's just grab this and drop it down into the Artificer. There we go. Bonus cartographer spells. Wrong list. Take your bullshit to the back of the bus. Here you go. This is where I'm supposed to be. Cartographer spells. When you reach an Artificer spell level, you thereafter always have the limited spell. I'm going to open up a new tab. Paste, copy all, cut, and then burp. Spell list. Fairy Fire. Guiding Bolt. I don't know why they get Guiding Bolt, but that's a goddamn good spell. Healing Word. Locate Object, Mind Spike. Locate Object, Mind Spike. Clairvoyance and Haste. I don't. Oh, Clairvoyance makes sense, but I don't see why they get Haste. But God, what a cherry pick list. Freedom of movement, locate creature. Locate creature makes a lot of sense. Scrying and teleportation circle. Those both work. Scrying, teleportation circle. What else you got? Adventurer's Atlas. Let's see. All right, tell me about the Adventurer's Atlas. When you finish a long rest, while holding cartographer tools, you can use this tool to create. While holding cartographer tools, fine. You can use that tool to create a set of magic, so specific. Time period, equipment, inventory, and then the action using the tool for the effect. It's 5e is very, it parses information very much. You can use that tool to create a set of magical maps by touching at least 2 creatures, one of whom can be yourself, up to a maximum number of creatures equal to 1 plus your intelligence modifier, minimum of 2 creatures. Each target receives a magical map, which is illegible to all others. The map lasts until you die or until you use this feature again, at which point any existing maps created by this feature immediately vanish. While carrying the map, a target gains the following... At which point any existing maps or until you use this feature again. Okay. While carrying... Whenever you finish a long rest while holding a cartographer tools, you create to create a set of magical maps by teaching anywhere from 2 to intelligence bonus plus 1. Yeah. While carrying this map, a target gains the following benefits. Awareness. The target adds 1d4 to his initiative roll, and then positioning. The target knows the location of all other map holders that are on the same plane of existence as itself. When casting a spell or creating an effect that requires being able to see the target, a map holder can target another map holder regardless of sight, so long as the other map holder is still within the spell or effect's range. Technically, we don't have to change anything about this. Yeah, I mean, it's all that stuff is still valid. I'm going to just gank it real quick. I'm including it here for just completion. We'll edit it in the future, I'm sure. Whenever you finish a long rest. Fuck you. I don't like that language. When you finish a long rest, you can use Calligrapher tools to create a set of magical maps by touching at least 2 creatures. Up to a number of creatures equal to 1 plus your intelligence modifier, minimum of 2. Each target receives a magical map, which is illegible to all others. The maps last until you die. The maps last until you die or until you use this feature again. At which point all maps disappear. Immediately vanish. While carrying the maps, the target gains the following benefits. Burp. Awareness. Positioning. While carrying the map, a target gains a target. When you finish the long rest, each target receives a magical map, which is illegible to others. So the map lasts until you die. While carrying the map, a target gains the following. What a weird way of putting it. Okay. Well, they are the target because you made a map for them. I would probably want to call it something different. When you finish, each target, because you're gonna have to keep saying the target of your magical map receives blah. Like in future things down the line, I'm guessing it's gonna have to be the target of a magical map or whatever. Like you'd think that like they'd have a recipient language for these things. Scouting gadgets. On your turn, you can expend half your movement to teleport to an unoccupied space you can see within 10 feet of yourself. You can't use this benefit if your speed is 0. You can cast Fairy Fire without expending a spell slot. Cheers. They're doing good on time. As a bonus action, you can teleport up to 60 feet. You can use this feature a number of times. You can also use this ability without expending the use of the destination spaces within 5 feet of a creature carrying a map. Carrying a map. They don't even have to be able to use it. It's just they can carry it. And it destroys the map the creatures carry. Huh. When you use the Flash of Genius, you or a willing creature of your choice that you can see within 30 feet of yourself can teleport up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space that you can see as part of the same reaction. Huh. Your Adventurer's Atlas improves. Gain following features when a map holder is reduced to 0 hit points but not killed outright. See, there's a difference between the target that had the map created and who's actually holding the map. So I can create a number of maps equal to intelligence +1, but I have to have a number of people there to give them to. I can't just make 6 maps. If I have a 20 intelligence, I can't just make 6 maps if I don't have 6 people there. So there's a mismatch in the language that's happening here, because the earlier features have to target can only be used on a target, and that target is defined as somebody that was touched to make a map. But now we're redefining it as a map holder, as whoever holds the map. We did that there, and we also did it with Adventurer's Atlas, teleporting to a location of somebody who's holding the map, whether they're one of the designated map targets or not. It's like you don't. If that's the only, let's finish to see if they ever mention targets again, because it doesn't look like they do. Maximum creatures. The maps last until which is eligible to. Each target receives a magical map, but they aren't defined as the map holder. They just get a map, and no one else can read it. But the map doesn't actually do anything. Like if I'm going to create a map that's illegible, what's on the map? There's nothing on the map. It's just a token that you're providing a character, but that character doesn't need to be. But the tokens work with anybody, not the person that you made it for. I can make 6 tokens. I can summon a pack of wolves, and then give each of them a token, and then have them fuck off, and then give those tokens to whoever I want during the course of forever, because those maps remain active until I destroy and replace them. There doesn't seem to be anything that actually binds you to those maps specifically. While at least one map created with your Adventurer's Atlas still exists, taking damage can't cause you to lose concentration. On your art, that's ridiculous. Taking damage can't cause you to lose concentration on any of your Artificer spells. That's insane, because most games the only way you can lose concentration is through damage. It happens that I have an incredibly aggressive concentration system that's outlined in the Color Mana books that we were looking at the beginning of the stream that are linked down below. And that system is every time you can stack multiple spell effects, but it increases the DC, and every time you make a saving throw, you compare the saving throw results against your concentration check. And if your saving throw succeeds against the fireball but fails against the 9 spell levels you have stacked up in concentration, then you lose all of those spell levels and you no longer have any concentration spells. So this actually works with the system that I created, because my system is much more aggressive. But with the standard D&D campaign, when the only time you're making concentration checks is if you take damage, this basically means that none of your spells have concentration, except that you're still limited to casting having one of them active at a time. But it nullifies the risk of losing your spell. There's very little things that most DMs introduce into a game that causes you to lose concentration. So, hey, what's up, Fox? Yeah, right on, man. Happy to have you here. But that is wrong. So I don't know if the playtest form feedback form has gone out for this or not, but this is that's wrong. And then if you are one of the map holders for your Adventurer's Atlas, you can cast Find the Path without expending a spell slot, without preparing the spell, and without needing spell components. Once you use this feature, D&D Beyond. Find the path. Find the path. 6th level spell. We gain access to it at 15th level. That's on curve for full casters, but it steps over the fact that you don't get 5th level spells until 17th level, so I don't necessarily like that. You magically sense the most direct physical route to a location you name. You must be familiar with the location, and the spell fails if you name a destination on another plane of existence. A moving duration 1 day and requires concentration. If you name a destination on another plane of existence, a moving destination such as a mobile fortress or an unspecified destination, a green dragon's lair. Got it. For the duration, as long as you are on the same plane of existence as the destination, you know how far it is and in what direction it lies. Whenever you face a choice of paths along the way, you know which path is most direct. So in the concentration, wait, does that say ritual or does that say concentration? Jesus Christ. Yeah, no. Okay, so using the concentration system that I have in the Color Mana books, if the duration is a day, it never requires concentration. It becomes a persistent spell effect. You would spend, if this was a typical spell, you would spend 6 points of mana and it would be on. And it would be on for the full day, meaning that it would turn off when you finish a long rest. But the persistent spells have the rule that when you finish a long rest, if you just leave those 6 points that you spent, if you just leave them spent, then the spell never ends until somebody hits you with a dispel effect. So if I have 2 or 3 Find the Paths active, and I'm willing to, like, if I have 3 of them active and I'm willing to spend 18 points of mana and leave them permanently burned out of my mana pool, I will always be able to track the location of 3 different points on the same plane of existence that I'm on. That's how the system that I use works. Not that I'm better than wizards. It's just these are fun things that we have found in my campaigns that work particularly well with 5th edition. So I believe I have already updated. Yeah, this exists. Let's go find it real quick. I'm sure it's a persistent effect, and if it's not, that's a great opportunity for me to update my shit. But it should be a persistent spell effect. So let's go check our revis. This is an opportunity for me to be wearing some serious crow right now if I'm wrong. But let's go down to 6th level. Should be in here. Find the Path is blue and green. That makes sense. Blue for discovery and green for topography. But this doesn't have durations listed in here. It's just the colors. Let's go back to the core mechanics. Yeah, we can do that. This is outdated. We saw that was blue and green in the revised list. There's only going to be 1 color in this list. Let's go find it, though. 5th. Oh, we had it listed as concentration. Yeah, see, that should not be. That needs to be updated for persistent effect. Like I said, we've evolved, and I have plans of rebuilding all of these books in later on this year once the Eberron adventure is done. So, yep, that's me getting to wear a little egg on my face, but yeah, everything's evolved. I've been using it for a long time, so we've seen a lot of revisions, and it's due for some revisions. So that's going to be a lot of fun to do that. So, but yeah, find the path. Interesting that that I didn't catch that. I'm a little sad about that. Oh well. I am Phil's shameful bare ass. Adventurer's Atlas. That's where we're at right now, and that is what we've looked at. Okay, so this was all built around the debate of what's a target, what's somebody who's holding versus somebody that's holding the map. The fact that it's illegible doesn't matter because there's nothing to actually look at on the map anyway. So that's a pointless. That's a worthless point about the map. It doesn't mean anything. It's just a token. And then for while carrying the map, a target gains. A target. See, a target is defined as a target of creating the map. Whenever you finish a spell, you can use that tool to create a magical set by attaching at least 2 creatures. Each target, see, it's defining these creatures touched as targets. They receive a map which is illegible to others. But it doesn't say anything. See, while carrying the map, a target gains the following benefits. So here's a condition. You have to be the target that was part of the creation of the spell, and you have to be creating it. So let's see if that matters. So the target carrying the map, D4 initiative, positioning, targeting, carrying the map. Know the location of the other map holder if they're on the same plane of existence. When casting a spell or creating an effect that requires the ability to see them, you don't have to. Another map holder, regardless of sight. Okay, and then when we get to Superior Atlas, let's see how the wording goes. Your Adventure Atlas improves, gaining the following benefits. When a map holder is reduced to 0 hit points but not killed outright, that creature map is destroyed. The creature is then teleported to an unoccupied space within 5 feet of you or another map holder of its choice and is stable. Map holder. So map holder implies while carrying the map. So you're carrying a map here, you're holding a map here. I think they think that means the same thing, but technically it doesn't. Here it means you have to be the target and you have to be carrying the map and not holding it. Over here, it doesn't define what a map holder is at all. They switched language without defining what map holding means. Carrying a map can mean in inventory, not necessarily in hand. While a map holder doesn't mean anything yet. But it doesn't specifically say a creature, when a map holder is reduced to 0 hit points but not killed outright, that creature, they could have said the target can destroy its map. It's implying the creature is then teleported to an unoccupied space to you or another map holder of its choice and is stable. But like, what if you're not a map holder, it can still teleport to you? Or is it implying you are a map holder to any map holder? Because if you're a map holder, it's included in there that you become a map holder when you are the target. But here it's putting you in front of another map holder. That's implying that you are a map holder. But you aren't necessarily a map holder unless you can hold a map and not be the target. I'm whinging on these details because these details actually matter. So this is where you find people gaming the system and finding ways to cheat it, like a bunch of summoned wolves and then they hand the map to other people to hold. Now, do they literally have to be holding it? If you are one of the map holders of your Adventurer's Atlas, if you are one of the map holders of your Adventurer Atlas, now we're starting to define what a map holder is here. But it's specifically saying a map holder for your Adventurer's Atlas. It doesn't say that up here for the map holder, and this is the first time we see the use of the words map holder is in the Superior Atlas. Otherwise, it's carrying. So again, I'm beating this to death because it actually matters. While at least one map created with your Adventurer's Atlas still exists, taking damage can't cause you to lose concentration on your Artificer's spells. And you don't even need to know where you don't need to know where it is. It doesn't need to be on the same plane of existence as you. Basically, you could just create a map and then put it in. You could throw it into a bag of holding and then into a portable hole, and it gets lost in astral space forever and never use this power again. And as you continue to gain levels in Artificer, you will never ever lose concentration. And the only way that most people play D&D lose concentration is by taking damage. So you can now sustain spells indefinitely, one at a time. And that's we need to fix this stuff. But I see the flaw, and I know how to. So we can fix it because we're looking at these discrepancies. We can resolve them. So when you finish a long rest, you can use your cartographer tools to create a set of magical maps. A set of magical maps that are God, I'd almost say like that are attuned to the character, but that would fuck everyone else's attunement up. Now, when you finish a long rest, you can use your card. You can choose a number of creatures you can touch equal to 1 plus your intelligence modifier, minimum of 2, which can include yourself. You use calligrapher tools to create a set of magical maps You use calligrapher tools to create a set of magical maps for the creatures, for the chosen creatures, You use calligrapher's tools to create a set of magical maps that are magical maps. The chosen creatures become the map holders. Become the holders of these maps. They need only carry them on their body to benefit from their effects detailed below. The map lasts until you die or until you use this feature again, at which point any existing maps created by the feature immediately vanish. There. I think that's a little cleaner. And now we have a term that defines that these are the holders. Become the holders of these maps. Each creature, we can reword that better. Each chosen creature becomes a map holder. Each chosen creature receives a map and becomes its holder. Each chosen creature becomes the map holder becomes the holder for each chosen creature becomes a becomes the holder of one of the maps. Each chosen creature becomes each chosen creature becomes a map holder when they take possession of a map created. Each chosen creature becomes a map holder when they take one of the created atlases. When they take possession of the atlas created for them. I think that works. When you finish a long rest, you can choose a number of creatures you can touch equal to 1 plus your intelligence modifier, minimum of tool, which can include yourself. You use calligrapher tools to create a set of magical maps. Each chosen creature becomes a map holder when they take possession of the atlas created for them. They need only carry the atlas on their body to benefit from their effects, detailed below. As detailed below. The maps last until you die, or until you use this feature again, at which point any existing maps created by this feature immediately vanish. While carrying their atlas, while carrying their atlas, one of the holders they need only carry. Each chosen creature becomes a map holder when they take possession. Map holder. Okay. While carrying their atlas, while carrying their atlas, a map holder. There we go. We defined that the map is an atlas, so I don't have to say a map holder of the map, because fuck you. So atlas is the map, and map holder is the creature that was chosen to benefit from the atlas features, which they can do after being selected and taking the map. So while they're carrying and we've defined what carrying the map means, you don't actually have to hold it to benefit. So we've defined who, what, how, and that's all we need for the feature. And now we have who it is, what the object is, how you engage with the object, and then what benefits do you gain. The map holder or I can just say the holder at this point, because that's short for the holder. While carrying their atlas, a map holder gains the following benefits. The holder adds 1d4 to their initiative. The holder knows the location of all other map holders, that are on the same plane of existence as itself. When casting a spell or creating an effect that requires being able to see the target, a map holder can target another map holder regardless of sight, so long as the other map holder is still within range. See, now that's all self-referential and more clearly, I feel, more clearly defined. So I'm calling this venture a great success, whether it is or not. All right, 5. Oh my god, there's another third level feature? What? Wait. Why is there so many third level features? There's too many third level features. How many ninth level features are there? There's one ninth level feature. But the Alchemist has two ninth level features. Let's check everyone else. Battlesmith. 3, 3, 9. Oh, that's right. I didn't go through all of them. God damn it. Let's go back. Let's double check the rest of the world. Because if they aren't following their own scaffold, this stuff is some serious mutt work. So let's go into... shit. Artificer, Unearthed Arcana. Artificer is out. Let's see if I get a link to it. Thank you, Reddit, for being the source of everything. There should be a link to it, right? There we go. There. Thank you. Okay, so looking at all the other artificers. Get past all that junk. Alchemist. 3, 3, 3, 3. 5, 9, 5, 9, 15. Armorer. 3, 3, 3. Oh, 3. Okay. 5, 9, 15. So artillerist. 3, 3, 3, and then 5, 9, 15. Battlesmith. 3, 3, 3, 3. Okay, this is all tracking then. 5, 9, and 15. Okay, cool. So the scaffold's there. It's consistent. I will eat crow for a second time today. I do not mind. My ego can survive that hit. So 333 scouting gadgets. So did I do this wrong? Hold on. 3, 3, 3, 5. Oh yeah, that's all that's wrong. 3, 3. This is supposed to be 5. 9, 15. 3, 3. And then I don't have anything else. Artillerist, 3, 3. Because the rest of this stuff is done. 5. Okay. Battlesmith. I only placed here the things that changed, so I should probably update that so it's more thorough. We're now doing all of the features instead of just some of the features, so I think I can get away with that. We're not supposed to duplicate a whole bunch of stuff for in DMsGuild, but I think I could probably get away with this. Let's see. 3, 3. I'll have a third 3, and then we'll have a 5. So let's see. Enter. 3. Scouting gadget. I think the heavy list. I think all the heavy lifting is over. You gain the following benefits. Boost. On your turn, you can expend half your... Jesus. All right. Let's just copy this for now. Let's go here. A, cut, paste. Boost. Radar? Really? That's a horrible title. Radar? Really? That implies that we've invented radar. We're already pushing too far into tech, in my opinion. We're pushing too far into science with the Fargab, which uses radio waves as a magic item in the Dragonlance setting. Not a fan of that. I'm really not a fan of them calling this radar. You can cast Fairy Fire without expending a spell slot. You can do so without expending mana. You can do so a number of times equal to your intelligence modifier, minimum of once, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. You can expend 1 mana to regain to cast it again. No. Easy enough. Let's see. Portal jump. Wait. Radar. God, what a horrible title. Boost. On your turn, you can expend half your movement to teleport to an unoccupied space that you can see within 10 feet of yourself. You can't use this benefit if your speed is 0. Okay, I'm okay with that. You cast Fairy Fire without expending mana. You can do so a number of times equal to your intelligence modifier, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. You know what? They need only carry the Atlas. You can use, if you choose yourself to be one of the map holders, you can use your Atlas as a spell focus. As an arcane focus to cast your Artificer spells. Silo. Always good to silo. Artificer. There you go. So now you can hold your map and use it for casting, which I think makes a lot more sense, flavorful, with the spell casting of the Fairy Fire, for instance. Holding your map and then using while you're holding the map to highlight something. I don't like radar. I get what you're doing, like a little blip. That's the flavor is supposed to be like a little blip on your map, but you can cast Fairy Fire without expending mana. I've got a cool idea there, dude. All right, I've got ideas, but we're going to keep moving. I've got ideas. Portal jump. Let's see. As a bonus action, you can teleport up to 60 feet to an unoccupied space that you can see. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your intelligence modifier, minimum once. You regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. You can use this ability without expending a use of if the destination space is within 5 feet of your creature carrying a map created with your adventurer's atlas. Doing so destroys the map that creature carries. Okay. That's brutal, by the way. That's a really brutal cost. As a bonus action, you can teleport up to 60 feet to an occupied space you can see. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your intelligence modifier, maximum of once. You regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. You can use this ability up to 60 feet to an unoccupied space that you can do. This isn't actually a spell use, and it's a fifth level variant feature, 60-foot range. bonus action 60-foot Misty Hop, Misty Step. I believe that exceeds. I think Misty Step is only 30 feet, right? Misty, get out of the way. Misty Step. Misty Steep. Misty Step. Let's find it. I'm pretty sure it's a 30-foot range bonus action. Self. 30 feet. Unoccupied space. Second level. This is 60 feet. 5th level spell. You get 2nd level as a as an artificer. Each of these maps being worth a 3rd level spell, that feels correct. You can also, but every time you do that, you deprive your team of one of their maps. You cut people off from that flow. I'm okay with that. You can use this ability without explaining the use of if the destination is within, if the destination space, the unoccupied space, that destination space is within 5 feet of a creature. I'm going to probably end up picking up that language, destination space. Use this with other teleport language. Yeah. What's a word? Highlight, outline. Ugh, radar, what a horrible name. Let's see. All right, so that was 5. Now we're on 9. See, these are all, at this point, this is all pretty easy. Ingenious movement. Targeting is too vague of a term. Ugh. Blip on the radar, icon, token, flare, ping. Boost and ping. I like that better. Advanced. Oh yeah, we're replacing that. Portal jump. 9th level is ingenious movement. When you use Flash of Genius, you or a willing creature of your choice you can see within 30 feet of yourself can teleport up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space that you can see as part of the same. Ooh, that is actually really, really nice. I don't have any reason to change any language either. I mean, it's pretty solid as is. But we're gonna include it here. I need to do some updating for the artificers. I guess I'll be doing that on Tuesdays and Fridays for the next couple weeks. Just to get all the language filled in properly. When you use your Flash of Genius, you or a willing creature of your choice that you can see within 30 feet of yourself can teleport up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space that you can see as part of the same reaction. Cool. When you use Flash of Genius, okay, so you or a willing creature of your choice. So I don't have to use, so this doesn't have to target the same creature that I targeted with Flash of Genius. Whew, wow, that's really good. You are, Jesus, that is really, really good. Okay. I'm not going to fight it yet. But it's really, really good. No longer need that. Alright, level 15. And this is the last of it. I'm going to grab this. I'm just going to copy paste it again because we're going to have to update the language. It's better just to do that. I like that it's consistent with the options, like the bullet point list option. I do like that. Unerring path. Thank you, Timely Timer. All right, we're almost done. So let's go with Unbreakable. I have to fix this. Unshakable Mind. Unerring Path. Safe Haven. Let's see. When a map holder is reduced to 0 hit points but not killed outright, that creature can destroy its map. The creature is then teleported to an unoccupied space within 5 feet. Can destroy its atlas. A creature carrying when you hold on. You can also use this ability without expending a use if the destination space is within 5 feet of a map holder. So we already defined what a map holder is. Doing so destroys the atlas. That creature carries. Action. It can be any creature. It doesn't even matter. Wow, that's great. Your adventurer's atlas improves. When a map holder is reduced to 0 hit points but not killed outright, that creature can destroy its atlas. The creature is then teleported to an unoccupied space within 5 feet of you or another map holder of its choice and is stable. See, that's consistent language now. If you are one of the map holders for your adventurer's atlas, you can cast Find the Path without expending a spell slot, without preparing the spell, and without needing spell components. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish the long rest. Okay. And since 6th level overclocks what you would normally be able to do, you can't spend 6 points to get it back. Plus, you're only supposed to be able to have 1 6th level spell per day. So not being able to refresh it makes sense. Unshakable Mind. If you are one of the map holders while holding your atlas, so if we make the atlas a spell focus for your spells, you have to hold it to cast the spells with it as a focus. And then we have the restriction here that, well, while you're holding it, you won't have your concentration broken by taking damage. But with the system that we use, that doesn't mean that you're not going to... Like, for example, if your team gets hit by a fireball, you're going to make a dexterity saving throw before you take damage. That dexterity saving throw, whether you succeed or fail, you don't have to worry about your constitution saving throw for the concentration effect because you already made a dexterity saving throw against your concentration check for that fireball. So you don't double dip. The only time you actually have to worry about making constitution saving throws versus damage with a concentration effect is if you take damage that didn't require a saving throw first, like a sword stab or like a melee attack. That's going to require a concentration save. But you don't double dip. You make your like against disintegrate. You do your, I guess it's probably a wisdom. It's probably a Constitution saving throw anyway. So you make your Constitution saving throw against the disintegration spell, and then when you take 30 points of damage, you don't also make another Constitution saving throw. That'd be double dipping. So the first time you make a saving throw with a spell is when that spell ticks. So there could be like you make a saving throw at the end of your turn, and if you fail, you take another 6 points of damage. it would still just be that saving throw that's going to impact your whether you maintain concentration or not the damage that results from failing the saving throw, which is detailed in the Color Mana book, in the core mechanics. While holding your Atlas, taking damage can't cause you to lose concentration on your Artificer spells. I'm fine with that with this system. I think it's bad for the game overall, but with what we have in place, it works just fine. If you are one of the map holders of your Adventurer's Atlas, good. And safe head when a map holder reduces 0 hit points, good. If you're one, okay, yep, this is all good. This is all good. I'm happy with all this. It's using the proper language that we want to use. It works within the power scale curve that I expect to have. I am thrilled with all of this. So, Lottie frickin' dog, guys. That's that for now. When we come back, there's some gaps that we have in the information and the other subclasses, because they, at the time when I put these in here first, it was don't bother duplicating everything, just go with the things that change. But now I've been adding everything in for everything, so I need to update the Artificer. Plus, we need to relook at the rarity and time and reduction of time, because we had a really good successful calibration for the Calligrapher today, or Cartographer today. This was a very successful conversion. So I want to go through that same process for the rest of the subclasses. So we'll begin that process Tuesday. We're going to do that on Tuesdays and Fridays. We'll continue working on the Artificer for the next couple weeks. We can probably get one a day. So on Tuesday we'll work on the Alchemist, and then the Armorer on Friday, and then the following week, Monday, the Artillerist, and then the Battlesmith 2 weeks from now. So that's my schedule. And hey, that's it for the week. I'm going to log out. We're going to have playtesting tomorrow morning in the Mega Dungeon. If you guys are interested in that, you can check it out in the Discord link down below. Be welcome to join. Check out all the books that I have. I update them, and I will be updating all the ones that are listed down there for 2024. I just got to finish my current project so I can clear my workbench and bring on the new projects. Check out my stream Monday through Friday in the morning. I do artwork for the Eberron book, which is going to be the next thing that publishes. And then on Mondays and Thursday nights, we work on the Bastion campaign system, which we'll be publishing on DMsGuild. And then Tuesdays and Fridays, lunchtimes, we're working on the Artificer, like we just said. So, like, subscribe, bell icons. If you think this stuff is fun, stick around. Ask me anything. Catch you guys in the future. Cheers.